Iran, one of the most talked about nations in modern history, but there's something truly remarkable about it. Despite being a target of multiple invasions over millennia, Iran remains undefeated. What makes this country so resilient, so strategically powerful, and so challenging to conquer? So in this video, we are going to talk about Iran's geography, its history, and its strategic brilliance. By the end of this, you will understand why no power has managed to break the back of Iran. Let's start with an undeniable truth. Everyone wanted a piece of Iran. Why? Simple. Its location and its resources. Iran sits right at the crossroads of the world. It's the gateway between the East and the West. Over the centuries, it's been the centerpiece of countless empires and trade routes, most notably the Silk Road. Controlling Iran meant controlling access to Asia and Europe. In the ancient world, Persia, modern-day Iran, was one of the great civilizations. From the Greeks to the Romans and later the Arabs, Mongols, Ottomans, and the British, many tried to seize this vital territory. It's not just about power. Iran is rich in natural resources. With one of the largest oil reserves on the planet, it's always been an attractive prize. Now you'd think that after so many invasions and attempts at subjugation, Iran would crumble. But here's the catch, it didn't. Iran's story is one of survival, adaptation, and above all, resistance. When we look at Iran's neighbors, it's clear how complex its geopolitical situation is. Iran shares borders with 7 countries: Iraq, Turkey, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. To the north, you have Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan connecting Iran to the Caspian Sea. To the west, Iraq and Turkey. On its eastern front, Iran has long-standing borders with Afghanistan and Pakistan. This positioning gives Iran direct access to 2 strategical critical regions, the Middle East and the Central Asia. For centuries, this positioning has placed Iran in the middle of conflict zones, but also given it the ability to influence its neighbors, making it one of the most crucial players in the region. Iran is blessed with 2 critical waterways, the Caspian Sea to the north and the Persian Gulf to the south. Let me explain why this is such a big deal. The Persian Gulf alone gives Iran access to one of the most vital maritime routes for oil transport in the world. The Strait of Hormuz, located at the mouth of the Gulf, is a narrow passage through which 20% of the world's petroleum passes. Iran essentially has a chokehold over this route. If they wanted, they could disrupt global oil supplies overnight. This is one of the key reasons no Western country has ever seriously considered a full-scale invasion of Iran. Its control over such a vital artery of global trade is simply too powerful. The Greeks under Alexander the Great came close, the Mongols wreaked havoc, but Iran as a nation-state has remained intact. Why? There are several reasons, but one of the biggest is geography. Iran is a fortress. Its terrain is one of the most challenging in the world. You have got vast deserts like the Dasht-e-Kabir and the Dasht-e-Lut, where temperatures can reach 70 degrees Celsius. Good luck marching an army through there. Then there are the rugged Zagros and Alborz mountain ranges, which act as natural barriers against any invading force. It's no surprise that throughout history, invaders who have tried to penetrate Iran have struggled with its unforgiving landscape. The geography is not just defensive, it also provides strategic depth. Even if an invading force manages to push through the borders, they have to deal with long supply lines, treacherous terrain, and a population deeply entrenched in its homeland. Iran's defenders can fall back into the mountains and regroup, making occupation a logistical nightmare for any aggressor. Speaking of geography, let's dive deeper into this. The Zagros Mountains to the west, the Alborz Mountains to the north, the central deserts, and the coastlines, this combination creates a diverse and complex terrain that's almost impossible to navigate if you are not familiar with it. The Zagros Mountains form a natural wall on Iran's western side. Historically, this has been one of the main reasons no army could invade from the west without facing catastrophic losses. On the eastern side, the central desert is vast and inhospitable. Any army trying to cross it would be worn down before even reaching major cities. On top of that, the Caspian Sea in the north and the Persian Gulf in the south give Iran maritime advantages. If you look at a map, it becomes clear that Iran is particularly a fortress surrounded by natural barriers. But geography alone doesn't explain Iran's resilience. You have got to give credit to Iran's geopolitical strategy. Iran has always been a master of balance. Throughout history, it's played powerful empires against each other. Take the Cold War, for example. Iran maintained relationships with both the West and the Soviet Union, ensuring that neither side could dominate it. In the modern era, Iran's foreign policy revolves around regional influence. It has deep ties with non-state actors like Hezbollah in Lebanon and has invested heavily in allies across Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. This network of alliances gives Iran significant leverage in regional conflicts, making it a powerful force to reckon with. Then there is Iran's nuclear program. While this remains a subject of international contention, it's a major part of Iran's strategy to deter any military action against it. The very possibility of Iran developing nuclear weapons has kept many adversaries in check. Iran's drone program is another critical factor. Iran has developed a fleet of highly sophisticated drones which are used not just for surveillance but for military operations across the Middle East. Iranian drones have been deployed in Syria, Iraq, and Yemen, proving that Iran can project its power far beyond its borders without relying on conventional forces. Let's talk about the drones for a second because this is where Iran has really outsmarted its enemies. In the last decade, Iran has become a drone superpower. While Western countries may have more advanced fighter jets or tanks, Iran's investment in drones has given it a unique edge. Iranian drones are relatively cheap to produce, highly mobile, and extremely effective in asymmetrical warfare. They have been used for reconnaissance, targeted strikes, and even electronic warfare. This makes Iran incredibly difficult to attack or occupy because it doesn't need to rely on traditional military might to hit back. Its drones give it the ability to strike targets far from its borders and cause significant damage. These drones are a nightmare for any adversary. They are hard to detect, easy to deploy, and capable of delivering precise hits. For a country like Iran, which has always had to defend itself against much larger military powers, drones have leveled the playing field. They have made Iran, in many ways, unbeatable in modern conflicts. So what makes Iran unbeatable? It's a combination of factors that work together like pieces in a puzzle. Its strategic location, natural resources, and most importantly, its unforgiving geography have shielded it from invasions for centuries. Iran's ability to balance powerful alliances, its investment in modern technologies like drones, and its control over key maritime routes further solidify its position as a regional powerhouse. Iran has faced countless threats over the years, from the ancient Greeks to modern Western powers, yet it remains standing, resilient, and undefeated. Its history is a testament to the fact that being a small country doesn't make you vulnerable if you play your cards right. And that's why Iran, despite everything, is still standing tall today, unbeaten, unbroken, and unyielding. If you want to know why Alaska's oil production is declining, this is bad news for both the US and Alaska, then you should watch the video currently displayed on your screen. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time, and a bundle of thanks for watching.